Good morning students, I am Sunny Solomon and the name of the poem is Sir Smasham Up. In this poem there are altogether 9 stanzas and we are going to cover up 3 stanzas today. But firstly let me tell you something about the poet. The poet name is E.V Rieu. His full name is E.V Rieu. He was born in London. He was a publisher, poet and a translator. He is best known as the editor of the Penguin Classic series of books. Now let's quickly start our poem. Here in the first line it is written, "Good afternoon, Sir Smasham Up." Here narrator is greeting Sir Smasham Up in his home. Now in the second line, here it is written, "We are having tea. Do take a cup." Here narrator is telling Sir Smasham Up that they are having tea. And then he offers Sir Smasham Up a cup of tea. Now let's see the third line, sugar and milk. Now let me see. In this line, narrator is asking Sir Smasham Up that does he require sugar and milk in his tea, and then he say, "Now let me see." That means the narrator himself wants to put sugar and milk in his tea. Now in our daily life everyone knows how tea is prepared. All the things like sugar, milk, tea and water are put together in a tea bowl. We cook it and serve it to our guests. But in Western culture, we actually see that the tea is prepared without milk and sugar, and after giving it to our guest himself decide how much amount of sugar and milk does he require. So here the narrator is following the same tradition by asking him about sugar and milk. Now let's see the fourth line. "2 lumps, I think, good gracious me." Lumps here means 2 cubes of sugar. The narrator in this line asking about the quantity of sugar he needs. Then he says, "Good gracious me." It is an expression of surprise, you can say, or dismay or alarm. That means this whole thing, "good gracious me," is an expression that means something happened after this. Now to see what happened exactly, we have to see the second stanza. Now let's see the second stanza. First line it is written, "The silly thing slipped off your knee." Here silly thing is a cup and a saucer which slipped off Sir Smasham Up's knees. Now let's see the second line. "Pray do not apologize, old chap." After this, the narrator straight away said, "Pray do not apologize." Pray do not apologize. It means we have to assume that after breaking the cup and the saucer, Sir Smasham Up apologizes, and then the narrator said pray, which means pray that the hot tea has not fallen on you, and do not apologize, which means do not say sorry for breaking the cup and the saucer. Then he said, "Old chap," which tells us that Sir Smasham Up is a fully grown man. Now let's see the third line. "A very trivial mishap." Now trivial means of little value and mishap is mishappening. Now mishap here, what is the mishap that happened? Now mishap here is the breakage of cup and saucer by Sir Smasham, And so this line means do not worry about the cup and the saucer because it was not expensive. Which thing is not expensive? The cup and the saucer is not very expensive. Now let's see the fourth line. So clumsy of you, how absurd. Here clumsy means awkward in handling things, or you can say careless in handling things. Clumsy is used to basically comment someone when someone did something wrong. So that's why here it is written clumsy. And then it is written how absurd. Absurd means illogical or not reasonable. That means this whole line, in this whole line, the narrator said this whole line to comment him, guest who is Sir Smasham Up. Now let's see the third stanza. But before going to the next stanza, have you noticed that every word of poem is being said only by the narrator? Sir Smasham Up is not saying any word. So we have to assume over here that after breaking the cup and saucer, he apologized to the narrator. Likewise, in the whole poem, everything is said by the narrator. And we have to assume that in between, Sir Smasham Up apologized or said something, and in response to that, the narrator said all the things which is written. Now let's see the third stanza. The first line says, my dear Sir Smasham, not a word. Now here, not a word means do not say anything. So in this line, he is telling Mr. Smasham Up that do not say anything about that mishap which happened earlier. Now let's see the second line. Now do sit down and have another. In this line, he is asking Mr. Smasham Up to sit down and have another. Here, have another suggests that he is asking Mr. Smasham Up to take a cup of tea again, which is a good thing because despite of that mishap, the narrator is still offering Mr. Smasham Up a cup of tea. That's very nice of him. Now let's see the third line. And tell us all about your brother. Here the narrator is asking about Sir Smasham Up's brother. Now in the fourth line, you know, the one who broke his head. This line shows that the narrator is asking about Sir Smasham's brother who had broken his head. So that's it for today. I hope everyone understood the three stanzas of the poem. Thank you.